Hari. We will start our satsang. Hari Om Vijay ji. ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम स्मृति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। हरि ओम। ओम अखंडमंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेव देव। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Hari Om. Hearty welcome to our regular satsanga on Sadhana Panchakam. We have completed 2 verses except the last instruction and the last sadhana. We will chant these 2 verses and we will move forward. If you have book, you can follow me. Not lead and follow, you can also chant with me. Vedo nityamadhiyatam taduditam karmasvanushtiyatam teneshasya vidhiyataapachitihi kamye matistajyatam papaugah paridhuyatam bhavasukhe doshonusandhiyatam आत्मेच्छा व्यवसीयताम् निजगृहात् तोरणं विनिर्गम्यताम् संगस्सत्सु विधीयताम् भगवतो भक्तिर्दृढाधीयताम् शान्त्यादिः परिचीयताम् दृढ़तरं कर्मासु संत्यज्यताम् सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यताम् प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुका सेव्यताम् ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमध्यताम् Shruti Siro Vakyam Samakaranyata. Actually, these two verses contains 8 plus 8, 16 spiritual practices, 16 sadhanas. We have seen till Brahmaikakshara Madhyatam. We should ask about Brahman to the Sadvidwan, to the Sadguru. Whom else we can ask? He is the only one can answer this question. What is the truth, Mahatma, behind this world? What is the purpose of my life? So these are the questions. Here, regarding sadhana aspect, we should know something. They say sadhanas can be divided into two categories. One set of sadhanas they call Antaranga sadhana. Another set of sadhanas they call Bahiranga sadhana. Bahiranga sadhana, Antaranga sadhana. Swamiji, Bahiranga sadhana means external practices. Antaranga sadhana means internal practices. In spiritual practices, there are two types. One we do externally, another set of practices we do internally. Oh. So then Swamiji, please tell what are the external sadhanas? Till sadhana number 14, they are all external sadhanas, Bahiranga sadhana. If we divide these Bahiranga sadhanas into categories, there are only two. One is Karma Yoga, second one is Bhakti Yoga. This Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga only, Bahiranga sadhana. Because we do karma outside. We do Bhakti outside. Bhakti outside means we substitute one God and one Aradhana and one method of Aradhana and so much of material, Kirtana, Bhajana, this, that, Swamiji, Naivedya, Deepa, Dhupa, what not. This is all called Bahiranga sadhana. Okay, little clarity. Sadhanas are two types, Bahiranga and Antaranga. And Bahiranga is classified into two columns, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Swamiji, that's okay. Why we do Bahiranga sadhana, Swamiji? What is the main result from this external sadhanas, external spiritual practices? The result is they are preparatory means for knowledge. You cannot straight went into the Vedanta classroom and you don't know what he is speaking, Brahman and everything. If you want to enter into this Jnana Pada, this Bahiranga sadhana are the preparatory means. They prepare our mind and our intellect. Our mind will be purified. Shantyadik parichiyatam bhagavato bhaktir drudadiyatam. With all these values and qualities, we purify our mind. They are preparatory means, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Our ahankara will be diluted. Our ahankara will be thinned. Not strong ego. With Karma Yoga and with Bhakti, we dilute our ahankara and we inculcate beautiful values, all divine values, Daivi values. After that, we start Antaranga sadhana. Okay, Swamiji. Swamiji, first you said sadhanas are two types. Then you said external sadhanas are classified into two columns, Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. The result of this external sadhana is a purification of our mind and intellect. Like that, preparatory means for knowledge. Okay, Swamiji, we understood. Now tell Swamiji, you said Antaranga sadhana, internal sadhana. So what about this, Swamiji? They say this Antaranga sadhanas are three. They are Sravanam, listening, Mananam, reflecting on the topic what we listened, Mananam. Third one is Nididhyasanam or Dhyanam. Meditate on the topic what we listened and reflected. These three are called internal sadhanas, antaranga sadhana. Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Listening, reflecting, and meditating. Then why you call them, Swamiji, as antaranga sadhana? Because in these three sadhanas, we use our own equipment. In Gurudev's language, he used to say, this is called subjective practices. We don't need any world to reflect on Brahman. We don't need any Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya, Ityadi to listen and to reflect and to meditate on Brahman. You and you alone. You study about yourself. You question about yourself and clarify the doubts regarding yourself. And connect yourself with the Supreme Soul. That is called Dhyana. That's why they call as Antaranga Sadhana. Okay, Swamiji. Swamiji, on your own you are saying these are the Antaranga Sadhana we have to do, or is there any Pramanam? Is there any valid means? Who said, Swamiji? Upanishad only said. These three are the main spiritual practice to know the Brahman. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the Upanishad itself said, Atma vare srotavyaha. Srotavyaha means you listen about Atma. Atma vare srotavyaha. Atma vare mantavyaha. You must reflect on Atma. Atma vare nididhyasitavyaha. You must meditate on self. Actually, these three words coined from the Upanishad only. Sravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Listening and reflecting and meditate on the Supreme Self and know yourself as the pure one Supreme Consciousness, Satchidananda Parabrahma. Not physical body or anything else. And complete. That's why they call final sadhanas. But to do these sadhanas, we need some preparations. They are all called, all the 14. Bhagavan started Vedo Nityam Adiyatam, Taduditam Karmasvanishtiyatam, and so on, so on, so on. So today's class is very important, Swamiji, then, because today we are knowing about these internal sadhanas. We are dissecting them. What is their feature? What is called Shravanam? What is called Mananam? What is called Nididhyasana? But in our class, in today's class, only two we cover. Shravana and Manana. And in the next class, we will think about Nididhyasana, Dhyana. Okay, Swamiji. So, now, student reached his guru, we have seen. He served him devotedly. And both are in one tune. He loves him and he loves him. Now, student in the last class, he asked a question. Brahmaika akshara madhyatam. He should ask about the supreme truth to Guru. Not any Guruji, what is the condition of American elections now? Or what is the vaccine, price of the vaccine of COVID? Not all these. You should ask about the Brahma. Brahmaika aksharam ardhyatam. You asked him. Now, what is the next sadhana? This is the second verse, last sadhana. It means 16th sadhana. Shruti siro Vakyam samakarnyatam. Samakarnyatam. You must listen full attention or attentively you must listen. What Swamiji? Shrutisiro Vakyam. Shrutisiro Vakyam means, Shruti means Vedam. Shruti Siraha means head of the Vedam. Head of the Vedam is Upanishad. You must listen Upanishad teachings from the teacher attentively. Samakarnyatam. So this is called Sravana Sadhana. See how beautifully Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, he framed in a one line. Swamiji, you said Sravanam is Antaranga Sadhana. What should we do in Sravanam? What should we listen? Not any stories. Shruti Siro Vakyam. The Upanishadic statements, the Upanishadic teachings. How Swamiji? Samakarnyatam. Samakarnyatam means with full attention. In this word, if you see Samakarnyatam, actually Karnyatam means you listen. Karnyatam. Akarnyatam means listen attentively. Samakarnyatam means full attentively you must listen, not tentatively. Pujya Guruji Swami Tejamayana used to say, don't listen tentatively, listen attentively. Attentively means with full presence of mind. And he used to crack one joke also. One student, he went to his master and he asked one question. And Guru started answering the question. And this boy is seeing here and there, here and there, here and there. And the Guru asked, Arey, you asked such a beautiful question and I'm answering. You are not paying your attention. Why? And the student said, Guruji, in Gita you said, Karmanye vadikaraste mafalesu kadachana. In asking only I have right, not in the result. So I am not paying attention. Not in that way. We must listen devotionally, because this subject is completely holy and pure. On Vakta, on scripture, and the result of this listening, everything is holy. That's why Samakarnyata means it's completely different texture of listening. Not as a classroom listening, not as anything else. It is a holiest of the holy subject. That atmosphere should come in our heart. That is called Samakarnyatam. And Mahatmas, they say, actually, best student, he need not do the other two practices, reflection and dhyana. For the best student, Sravanam itself enough to get the clarity about himself, to know about who is he or who is she. For example, see the knowledge, status of knowledge. We don't need any knowledge to know whether I am a man or a woman. It is such a clarity. If somebody asks, are you man? We don't think about this. What are you talking? Such a clarity in the knowledge. This Brahma Vishaya also, we should be with that clarity. This example from Shankaracharya ji only. That clarity, crystal clear clarity. Who am I? I am the self, pure self. I am the Satchidananda Brahma. That is called abidance in the knowledge. Nishtha in the jnana. That clear thought or clear abidance on the supreme knowledge. And they used to give one example. For example, if I ask, what is this? The next second you see this, you know this now about knowledge of this one. You know, this is pen. how much time it took to you to know about its knowledge? No time, Swamiji. You said, what is this? We know this is pen. I know. Regarding Brahma Jnana also, we should be like that. When the Pramana operation is open, Pramana operation means there is a student and here is a guru and he is explaining about the Brahma Tattva, then and there only it should be open. Like how you realize that this is pen, in the same way you should realize this is me. Yes, it is Satya, Jnana, Ananta Brahma Swarupam me. That is called Swachha Sravanam. It should be like that. Sravanam. Samakarniyata means the degree of listening should be in that phase. Sruti Siro Vakyam Samakarniyatam. And one more point, Bhagavan is very much clear. Sruti Siro Vakyam means in Veda, other than Upanishads, so many other portions are there, like Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and going to heaven ityadi. And if you go through all of them, we may feel, Swamiji, I would like to adapt that way because I can go to heaven. I can enjoy so many things. Bhagavan is saying, no, our subject is not all those. Our subject is Brahma. So the Sravanam means about Brahman only. That Brahman is revealed in Upanishads. So the Upanishads teaching is only the teaching about the truth and the ultimate knowledge. So Sruti Siro Vakya means we should listen these Upanishadic statements from the master. This portion is called Shravanam. Actually, you know, other two sadhanas are there, Mananam and Nididhyasana. In Sravanam only, we will acquire complete knowledge. Not in Mananam, not in Dhyanam. Why, Swamiji? In Sravanam only teacher will be there. In reflection and meditation, there is no teacher. You are doing on your own. So when we are in front of the teacher, when this Pramana Vyapara is open, then and there only we should get the knowledge. So the removal of ignorance will be happened in Sravana Sadhana only, not in Manana and Nididhyasana. So the acquisition of knowledge will happen in Sravana Sadhana only. That's why Sravanam is very, very important. Actually, we should get the confirmation. Actually, we should get the establishment during this period. That is the great importance of Sravanam. And one more point I would like to tell. Anywhere, whether it is a Bhagavad Gita prasanga or an Upanishad prasanga, the main feature is this Sravana Sadhana. Arjuna got confused in Gita. He submitted himself in front of Bhagavan Krishna. He did not meditate, he did not reflect on what Krishna is speaking. While Krishna is speaking only, he got the clarity. He got what is dharma and what is adharma, what is Brahma, what is Mithya and everything. And finally, Arjuna, he himself said, Krishna, my delusion is gone. Now I am clear. Smritir labdva, gata sandehaha. All my confusions are gone. I got the clear knowledge. Now, karishye vachanam tava. Whatever you are saying, I will do that. This is called sadhana. See, any Upanishad, the student goes to their teacher and the teacher starts his teaching. After his teaching only, they will say that. My Guru, now I got the clarity on Brahman. Now I came to know who am I. So in Sravana Kala only we should be Samakarnyatam. This is very, very, very important sadhana in the establishment of knowledge. We should follow him, what he is speaking. We should connect to the teaching. You know, while listening, actually the seeker should not be there. That transformation should happen unknowingly. That is the best listening. When we sit in the classroom, I am different. After class, I am different. I equipped with complete knowledge. I equipped with complete clarity. It should happen unknowingly. That is called Shravana Sadhana. And one more point Mahatma says. Yes, Swamiji, you said right. Great people, Mahatmas, their degrees are different. What about Samanya Jana? Then Gita and all other Shastras, they said, Bhuri Vishwavam. Listen again and again. Don't content with this Sravana Sadhana in any stage. Keep on listening, keep on listening, keep on listening. Slowly, slowly, you will get complete clarity. And any Mahatma, if we get in our life, we should make use of them. You ask, Swamiji, if you don't know anything, Swamiji or anyone, can you explain at least one sloka from Bhagavad Gita? Or can you explain any sloka of your own interest? That will be satsang. In olden days, our elders used to do that. I know. Great sadhu, he used to come to our home when we are so young, like 4th standard, 5th standard, we don't know what he is. But my father and they are all used to serve him and they used to sit for satsanga. They don't know any kind of Gita and anything. Mahatma ji, please tell any good word. And he is a great learned one. He used to tell something. They used to listen and they used to practice in their life. They used to learn values. They used to learn dharma. They used to learn Bhagavat Jnana. They used to learn Brahma Vishaya also. This is our culture. Sravanam from any stage, whether it is a Gruhastha or Sannyasa or Gurukula Vasi, we should use it. That is the first and fundamental sadhana in Antaranga Shishtam. Sruti Siro Vakyam Samakarnyatam. This is called Sravana Sadhana. Yes, Swamiji. Then Swamiji, we listened to different textbooks. We listened so many classes. Then after that, what should we do, Swamiji? When Guruji, he said this way. He used to visit many yajnasalas, many countries, cities everywhere. When Guruji goes, thousands of people, they come and they enjoy his lectures, everything. And after yajna, every city, they ask one and only question, Guruji, when you will come again? Please come. Because you are speaking so nicely, it is completely different phase of knowledge. First time we are listening, we are inspired. When you will come back, Guruji? And Guruji said, I will come. Undoubtedly, I will come at some time. But till then, what you do? What we are going to do? Then the student said, that I don't know, Guruji. I wait until unless you come. And Guruji says, no. You must do one thing. Whatever you listened during my Jnana Yajna, you reflect on it, on your own. That is called second stage of Antaranga Sadhana. That is called Mananam. mananam. Mananam called reflection or thinking on our own. Not with the support of lecture or not with the support of textbook. You sit alone and think what you have listened from the teacher. This is called manana sadhana. This for manana sadhana, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, he instructed 4 A, B, C, D in the same manana sadhana as 4 spiritual practices. That means what are the precautions we should take during this reflection? How we should proceed in thinking of Vedanta subject. Carefully he dissected with 4 instructions that will be in the 3rd verse. So now we will chant the 3rd verse. Please repeat after me. Vakyardascha vicharyatam Sruti sira paksha samasriyatam Dustarkat suviramyatam Sruti mata tarkonu sandhiyatam Brahmasmiti vibhavyatam Aharaha garva parityajyatam Deheham matirujyatam Buddha janairvada parityajyatam Together. Vakyardascha vicharyatam Sruti sira paksha samasriyatam Dustarkat suviramyatam Sruti mata tarkonu sandhiyatam Brahmasmiti vibhavyatam Aharaha garva parityajyatam Deheham matirujyatam Buddha janairvada parityajyatam. In this 3rd verse, there are 8 sadhanas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Among the 8, first 4 belongs to Mananam, Manana sadhana. Today, we completely focus on these 4 instructions. Manana sadhana, Bhagavan is saying, Vakyardascha vicharyatam. Vicharyatam means you should think. You should think. Vicharana means thinking. Vicharana means thinking. You should think. Think about what? Vakyardha. Ardha means meaning. Vakya means the statement of Upanishad or the teaching of Upanishad. So the complete meaning is you should think over the meanings of Upanishadic statements. Because Sravanam you already completed. You listened this Upanishadic statement or Upanishadic mantras or Upanishadic lines from the Guru. You listened it. Now your job is you think on your own on the same Upanishadic statements. Here, listen carefully. Vedanta is advocating thinking, not believing not such activities. Vedanta is advocating on thinking. That's why this margam is called Jnana Margam. You should think logically. You have to use your intelligence, your buddhi. Because thinking is the faculty of our own intellect. This is the greatness of our culture. We don't say any people believe our God, come and surrender. You do that, no doubt. But there is a door to you. You can think on your own. You analyze with your experiences. You analyze subjectively and with open mind. Then come to conclusion whether we are speaking right or wrong. Whether we are speaking truth or false. Whether we are speaking any sense or nonsense. You think on your own. You yourself come to the conclusion. There is no need to whatever I say, you do. Thou shalt do it. Thou shalt not do. No. We are advocating thinking. Vicharyatam. And what Swamiji I should vicharana do? Vakyardha. So many great statements, so many holy mantras revealed in Upanishad. You must reflect on it subjectively. Connect yourself with this subject of the Upanishad. Whether it is a Tattvamasi Mahavakya or whether it is Aham Brahmasmi Mahavakya, Ayamatma Brahma. So many Upanishadic statements are there, great mantras are there which are revealing that Brahma Swarupa and my Atma Swarupa. You think on it. And Tejomayananji, out of his compassion, he briefed it, what is called Vakyardha Vicharana. How it should go. You know what he said? First of all, we should think what is the eternal truth. Is there any Nitya Satya Vastu? And the next step is, what about this ever-changing feature? Every day we are seeing, every day everything is changing. What is this? Think. What is this? Every day is changing. And is there any unchanging substratum for this ever-changing system? And come to conclusion that that eternal truth, unchanging material is Brahma. You come to that conclusion, there is a Satya Vastu. It is called Brahma. And the final Vicharana should conclude at that Brahman is myself. Till now, I thought me as something else. Now I know who am I actually. That is called Vakyardha Vicharana. It should cultivate, it should end there. Who am I? I am the Satya Vastu, that Brahma Swarupa. It's called Vakyardhascha Vicharyatam. You should think about your own self this way. And then Bhagavan is giving very important instruction regarding this Manana Sadhana. That is the next line. That is also part of Manana Sadhana only. Sruti Siraha Pakshaha Samasriyatam. Sruti Siro Paksha Samasriyatam. Samasriyata means you should accept. What should I accept, Swamiji? Shruti Siraha Pakshaha, the side of the Upanishads. In thinking, don't go here and there. So many sciences will be there. But your line of thinking should be in the line of Upanishad. Shruti Siro Pakshonu Sandhiyatam. It's very, very important instruction regarding our independent thinking. You know, after listening all the Vedanta and after thinking over, if you come to the conclusion such that there is no Brahma, there is no reality, this body is real and everything, whatever I am seeing, this is all truth, if you say, then there is no need of this Ravana and everything. This is called Shrutisiro Pakshonu Sandhita, means your arrival, your conclusion should be with the conclusion of the Upanishad. You should be positively go. Shrutisiro Pakshonu Sandhiyatam. In the beginning, it may be in an opposite side. Like our Pujya Gurudev, all the time he used to give the example in his quotations. He used to say, every day we are seeing earth is flat. This is our experience. We don't see earth is an elliptical shape. We see every day earth is flat. We see every day earth is remaining stationary. We don't know earth is revolving every day it is revolving on its own. But the fact is completely different. Earth is not flat. It is an elliptical shape. Earth is not stationary. It's an ever-moving object. But our experience is different and truth is different. Every day we are seeing sun is rising, sun is setting. But the fact is there is no sunrise, there is no sunset. When we will come to know this truth, when we study in classrooms and we logically, we also think according to the subject, then we will come to know. Even though it may not be in my experience, but the fact is earth is not flat. Earth is not stationary. There is no sunrise. There is no sunset. How do you come to know? Because you are thinking in line with the subject. You cannot say after studying your doctorates and after studying your graduation and post-graduation, no, because I am not experiencing, so earth is flat only, sun is rising, sun is flat because I am experiencing every day, my experience is ultimate. You cannot say. Because they are evident proof is there, valid means are there. The same with Vedanta also. Right now, our experience is, Swamiji, I am this body. Swamiji, I am a limited being. My conditions are very limited. But your Upanishad is saying, I am not this body, I am the unlimited, unconditioned Brahma, Atma, Ananda Sagara. No birth, no death, not like body. I am Chiranjeevi. Nitya Vastu. So, your thinking should end over there. After thinking, after listening, you should not come back again. I am body only. I am this and this only, limited feature only. This is the greatness of thinking. Actually, we do in our Manana Sadhana this portion. Every sadhaka's personal experience is this. Even everybody, even we used to think in our Gurukula, in our Sandipini Sadhanalaya, mantras are saying something, personal sadhana actually. But our experience is, why I am feeling like this body only? Which is conditioning my thinking. Why I could not accepting about this, that Niranjana, Asanga, Satya Swarupa. What will be me? Then slowly we sit and what all the Guru's teaching we reflect. And finally, we will come to the conclusion that definitely why I am not this body, why I am not this mind, why I am not this thinking, who am I? There should be a permanent substratum in me as Sakshi. There should be a pure knowledge status, not conditioned knowledge, not knowledge of anything. To shine the entire knowledge, to keep the entire knowledge, there should be a core. There should be an origin to the knowledge. That is called Shuddha Jnana Swarupam. All the time I am saying I plus something, I plus something, I plus something only. This is our life. Then what about the pure I? They all cannot remain if I remove my I. But I can remain without all these. They are coming and going all the time. Whether it is a people or experiences or objects or situations, they are all coming and going, but I am still the same. What is that? Then slowly, at least we will understand. We will appreciate the truths of Upanishad. That is called Sruti Siraha Akshaha Anusandhiyatam. After Shravanam and Mananam, we should come to the conclusion that definitely I am the pure Satchidananda Swarupam. This unchanging, ever-changing system is superimposed on me. I may give so many labels, values, but they are all relative. They are not absolute. Sruti Siro Vakyam Samak. Then Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, he is giving one more beautiful step about this Mananam. That is called, Upanishad already told, you have a free choice to thinking. Now tell, for thinking, what we need mainly is logic. Logic. That is in Sanskrita, that is called yukti. Manana always depends on logic, on yukti. Thinking always depends on logic. Even worldly also, if we want to think anything, we will frame in a logical system. Otherwise, it cannot be solved. Even for our company or for our office, for our any mission, there is a logic in it. This is hardware and this is software. In software, this is a flow chart. This is the system. This is the. There should be a logical presentation. Then only it will come out as an useful object. So in Vedanta also, for thinking, the main element is yukti, logic. Now Bhagavan is saying, this yukti, this logic should be such a way, dustarkat suviramyatam. You should be completely refrain from dustarkam. Dustarkam means fallacious logics. You should be very much careful. Tarkam means vicharana, thinking. You should not vote for dustarkam. This is well-known way. Because some people, they give such a logic, completely fallacy. There is no truth in it. But they will present such a way, but they inspire so many people. It happens in our life. But Bhagavan is saying, in Vedanta Vichara also, you should take care of that. Dustarkat Siviramyatam. Completely refrain from fallacy logics. Take care. Then how should be my logic should be, Swamiji? Sruti mataha tarkonu sandhiyatam. Your tarka, your logic, your thinking should be Sruti mataha. Sruti mataha means accepted by the Upanishad. The method of thinking, whatever prescribed by the Upanishad, you accept that system only and think on Upanishadic statements, not anything else. These are the precautions we should take in the process of thinking. We have a free door to think first. This thinking should be according to in the line of Upanishad. The conclusion should be as I should end as Satchidananda Brahma. I should drop my wrong fallacies and I should conclude with the truth. Same time, be aware of dustarkas, refrain from them, and take the logical systems from the Upanishads only. These four are the steps in thinking. Now, with the last step in the thinking, I'll say that, then I'll conclude our class. Swamiji, you said mananam, mananam, mananam with yukti. With logic, we should think on Upanishadic statements, you said. They say, few what we call steps are there in the logical thinking of Upanishads. Pujya Guruji, he himself said that. They are the first point. This is very, very important point. Logic by itself is not pramanam for Brahma. What, Swamiji? Logic by itself is not pramanam to know Brahma. Then what is the pramana? The pramanam for Brahma is Upanishad. Swamiji, I am very intelligent, Swamiji. I can think very well. With my thinking, I can reveal what is Brahman. No. Whether you are an intelligent man or a dull person, that is different. But the means for the Brahman is Upanishad, not our brain. This is the first thing we should know. This logic will help in revealing that the Upanishadic statements, but this thinking itself is not a valid mean to know the Brahman. The valid means are Upanishads, not logics or anything. And he used to give one example. In a court, two lawyers are there. One lawyer is very talkative. He is quoting law left and right and speaking with beautiful English, and continuously he is presenting all his arguments. And another lawyer is there. He is not speaking anything. But after all his argumentation, that lawyer came and he said, my lord, this is the evidence for the particular incident. He presented one evidence in front of the judge. Now please tell, judge will inspire by this argumentation, or judge will consider that evidence, that pramanam. However talkative you may be, who cares? However fluent you are in English, who cares? This is not evidence. This is just a presentation. The same way, the Upanishads are the valid means to know the truth. Our thinking is a supportive element to reveal more, to get more clarity. So this is not a final pramana on its own. This is one thing we must know. in Upanishad also it is na yuktena. You cannot get Brahman by the logic or not by logic also. Some people, they don't argue anything, they don't do anything, but the Brahman is very clear to them. Because they have such a faith on the Upanishad, they believed it. They have such a bhakti on Guru, they got it. Undoubtedly, they know they are Brahman. Then what more logic we need? This is one. Second thing, regarding young generation, they say, Swamiji, we don't believe God, we don't believe Brahman. If you ask them, why don't you believe? Then they say, what is the proof? Can you prove Bhagavan in laboratory? Or can you present God in front of my eyes? Then only I can believe. Then the Mahatmas say, for every science, there is a particular and different set of experimental procedure. We cannot prove different sets of truths in a same way of means. I will give one example. For example, physics or chemistry, these sciences, they may pass some statements. If you want to prove them, we go to laboratory. And the best thing is, repeatedly we can prove it, that result. For example, H2 plus O is equal to water, C. Now, this is H, hydrogen, this is oxygen. See, the water came. Repeatedly, you can show the result. This is water, this is water, this is water. Regarding chemistry or physics. This is one set of science. This is not final. So many sciences are there. For example, take another subject like history. These historical statements, you cannot prove in laboratory repeatedly. For example, I want to see Gandhi. You cannot produce Gandhi in laboratory. It is a historical fact, that's all. He born so and so time, he did so much of these activities, and he died, and historically we framed in a particular. Their proofs and their means, and they are different. You cannot adopt this physics, chemistry methods to the history and historical methods to the physics and chemistry. In the same way, to prove the Vedantic statements or to prove the Vedantic truth, the set of logic and the set of pramana is completely different. They are called Upanishad Vakya and Guru, Sravana, Manana, Dhyana, Ityadi. The straight answer is we cannot prove Brahman in lab. We cannot prove Brahman in a book. If you want to prove Brahman, you know what you are. Think of who are you with clear mind. Then the truth will be revealed. You are the subject for Vedanta. It cannot be proved outside as an object. These are the things we should consider in thinking. And the last one is how to think, Swamiji. How to think this Vedantic statement, you know. For example, Guruji says you should adapt 3 lines in thinking. For every statement of Upanishadic word, you connect a reason to this. For example, they are saying Tattvamasi, a statement. Then you find out, yes, there is a scope for Tatta, Ishvara. There is a scope for Ishvara working nature. And you take your own life experiences to connect this Ishvara and me as one. From which standpoint these two can be one? In traditional language, you used to say, for every statement, take a region and connect with an example. Examples of Mahatmas, examples of your own life experiences. With them, with the help of reason, you connect with the statements of the Upanishads. Slowly you open your intellect. You get exposed to the statement of the Upanishad. Slowly they will be revealed. Sruti Siro Pakshon Sandhiyatam. This way, you should adopt the means of the Upanishadic means, at the same time Upanishadic state. You should side of the Upanishadic statements, then you think, not by any dustarka. And he gave a final example for the dustarka, and he concluded that dustarka is one man came to one boy. This boy is very orthodox and good boy. This man is, little tilted man. This man came and he asked this boy, Are, what do you mean by punyam? This man asked. Punyam means, he said, whatever gives happiness, that will be the result of punya karma, he said. Then he asked, what do you mean by papam? Then this boy said, whatever gives dukkham, sorrow, that is because of papa karma. Okay, now that man said. This boy said, okay. Then listen me. For example, if you borrow money from anyone, will it give happiness or not? This boy said happiness. Then he said, borrowing money from anyone is punyam. This boy, And this man said, returning money, is it painful or not? This boy said, yeah, painful. So returning money is papa karma. So borrow money, never give back. This kind of dustarka, one example only he is giving. So we should be very alert regarding in our sadhana, regarding Brahma Vishaya and our Atma Vishaya. Dustarkat Siviramyatam. Always refrain, avoid all kind of dustarka and believe the Upanishad Mata, Sruti Mata, Jnana Swarupam and Sadguru. With their line of thinking, if you proceed, then it is very easy. In Mananam only, all our doubts will be washed away. We will get clarity in thinking. Chinna Samshayaya Namaha, one of the name of our Pujya Gurudev. That's why in every camp, he used to conduct discussion, classes and question and answer session. This is for Mananam. After Sravana class, there should be discussion among the participants. He will be absent there. After discussion, he used to open the door, ask questions, what all you have. That is called Mananam. All questions will be teared out. Chinna Samsayaya Namaha. That is the method of our Pujya Gurudev, which was adapted by the Upanishad itself. Sravana, Manana. Hari Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.